Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's a guy who feels alive tonight from his toes to his bones to be here with you. I am Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first Survivor Feedback Friday, live on Friday night. We're going to do this every week that we can make it happen at around 6 p.m. Eastern on Friday. It's happy hour somewhere, especially here, because we have a guy here with us today who is always energible, okay? He is my co-host of the Nothing But Netflix podcast and Twitter's favorite son. It's Chappell.
Am I Twitter's favorite son? That is so cool.
Yeah.
Also, I'm better than Scally. Is that what you're saying?
Look, I don't know. That's up to Twitter. That's between Scally and Twitter. Okay.
Yeah. And I wouldn't come between those two. But yes, Rob, thank you for having me. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. Okay. We are here to talk about Survivor episode number 1, and we are live. And this is a kind of a new idea that I want to do for the feedback show. I'm so happy to launch this with you because you are the perfect person to get this going with, where I really want to incorporate a lot of what we do during Big Brother season, especially when I do the slop, where we talk about a lot of the nonsense. I want to have fun on the feedback show. I want to get into anything that we missed from the episode, but I also want to make this Friday night show feel like a party. Okay. So we have a lot of different ways that the audience can participate. One, you can talk to us. So you could, you can take shots.
Yes. It's a party.
Yeah.
We're not taking
shots. Feel free. We still have a Big Brother episode to talk about tonight.
Oh shoot, yeah. Because I was gonna say take a shot every time Rob or I say like or and
you'll be dead.
We're gonna really get this party started. Yeah. But you'll have a good time. Live like you're dying. Living.
Great way to go.
Dying.
Living. Yeah. You'll be living finally. Okay.
With 2 exclamation points and a smiley face.
That's right. So we want to invite our patrons, our podcaster friends, survivors. We have a link. If you are in the chat, we're going to bring on some people with questions. If any of our friends stop by, we may have them come in and say hello here on the Friday night feedback show. How about that?
Yes. We love the friends. Send for the friends. It's not a party unless everybody can get in,
If you're a Rob Has a Podcast patron, the link to call in is in our Survivor Facebook group and on Survivor Discord. If you're a podcaster or you're a survivor, just say hi in the chat, and we'll go ahead and you'll talk to our producer, Sam Moore, behind the scenes, and then he'll give you the link to call into the show, and we'll see who stops by. Okay?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited. I don't know about these podcasters though, Rob. You hire an eclectic group of people, and I don't know about some of them. I think we might need to vote them out because they're a little too kumbaya for me. You know what I'm saying?
It's too kumbaya, right? You feel like that they should be. You came in here, you thought there'd be like more tension, more friction, and it's like a little bit just like, hey, we're all best friends. We all won.
Yeah, they're giving me nothing. They're like, yeah, we're the final 6. I was like, but you have to vote someone out. Yeah, but in our minds, we're the final 6. Like if you leave it all out on the floor, all out there on the field, then you're the real winner. That's I ain't like them. I'm here to like flip tables now and burn stuff down. So bring in those podcasts if you want, but that might slow us down a little bit.
All right. Well, that's why I wanted to that's the energy I want to bring to the Friday night feedback show. So, make it feel a little bit different than the rest. Because I get, well, what's the difference between the recap and the feedback show? And so, okay, this is what I want to have be the fun, crazy podcast. I'm going to bring that energy into these Friday night shows where anything can happen. On Thursday, I talked with Zach Wertenberger, had a lot of fun talking with him. If you missed that podcast, a really fun one, check that out. We did 2 hours talking about the premiere and everything else we have going on over in our Survivor podcast feed. Something else I just want to highlight at the start of the podcast, we are doing a promotion that we are trying to get the word out about the Rob Has a Podcast feed. And so to try to spread the word and also raise some money for a good cause, I am going to be donating $2 to the Boys and Girls Club of America for every subscriber we add here between now and the end of September. So you can go over to robhasawebsite.com/subscribe or search for RHAP wherever you get your podcasts. You can do it on as many devices as you want. Okay. If your partner has a phone, you could do it on theirs. They're never going to know the difference, right?
Right. Exactly.
Have you been,
So
have you even been to an Apple store recently?
yeah, just go in the Apple store and just make a bunch of accounts. I don't think anybody would be upset,
They don't care. They like it. They like it. They're
Yeah.
just trying to get people in the door. Yeah.
Right. You're in there taking pictures with all the like the filters and making TikToks and
Sure.
stuff. Just go ahead and
Sure.
subscribe. You're doing it
Yeah.
anyway, right?
Make it the lock screen. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, do
Okay.
that.
All
I'm
right.
not gonna do that.
All right. So, Chappelle, tell me, how did you feel about the Survivor premiere?
The premiere was interesting. 2 hours. Haven't done that in a long time. So for
Hmm.
only just to have one boot, that's not a thing we've done since what Heroes versus Villains. And
Yep.
I saw a lot of parallels, honestly, in those opening scenes. Because in Heroes Villains, we talk about how iconic that entrance was. They're showing the villains, they're showing a little piece of each of them and showing their backstory and stuff. I think they kind of went back to that well for this because it worked. It worked there and it worked here because you don't waste a lot of time giving people's background story if you just get it in during the entrance. I
Hmm.
actually was sitting there trying to figure out what did we used to do in that time, and I was like, oh, we would talk about the theme. This is when Jeff would get confessionals
Hmm.
from people that say, as a beauty, I've been beautiful my whole life, and I'm fine as hell, and I'm gonna win this game because I'm fine and beautiful. It's
Hmm.
like, yes, thank you, Morgan. But now what do we know about you? And so I think this is a good opportunity for them to capitalize on this. Now, as far as the rest of the episode goes, it was cool, like get some good character moments. Like I said, I like the background stuff, but ultimately, strategy-wise, it was pretty straightforward. Morriah, she didn't seem to fit in with the tribe, and she is now gone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you were nervous during the episode because you had the first pick in the draft. Yes.
Hold on. Preposterous. I don't get nervous. Let me be
Hmm.
very clear.
You
If you
said you were nervous before the episode even came on.
I don't remember saying that. I don't think I
Yeah.
said that. That wasn't me. That was somebody else. I don't know who that was. I don't get nervous.
Hmm.
I'm confident in my draft picks. What did I be nervous about? I think I just had the jitters because Survivor was back. It was excitement. Nervous is the wrong word.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
But you were concerned that Owen, your number one draft pick, you're the first pick in the draft. Chappelle picked Marianne to win the
Mhm.
draft, and then won the right to determine the draft order, made himself the first pick, and then selected Owen number one. But there was a chance, it looked like, that Owen could be the first person voted out of the tribe.
No, no. See, that was just smoke and mirrors. They really wanted to give some suspense to this episode as well as the
Hmm.
draft because I'm going to win again. And, for people who think I was nervous about drafting the wrong person with my first vote, I mean, come on, look at my track record. I mean,
Hmm.
all of my players go far into the game. So I think Rob's fact checker said I got like a placement of like 4.2 or something like that. So roughly fourth place with everybody.
Yep.
So I could never make this mistake. Now, Asia, that's a different story. That's none of my
She got the
business.
grenade.
Hey,
Yeah.
she got the grenade. I tried to throw her a bone. I said, listen, you can be in front of Puya. He'll screw it up as usual. No worries. But Asia she's determined to get this grenade. I'm rooting for her, though. Maybe she can come back from it.
Maybe she can come back from it like you did last season.
It's
I
tough.
want to ask you about the first boot from the season, Morriah. She's a teacher. You too are an educator.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
left the classroom because if you stay in there long enough, you might end up turning your hair different colors.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. You also do a podcast about Abbott Elementary over on Poster Recaps with Gia Worthy. Were
Yeah.
you particularly invested in Morriah as a character?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always rooting for everybody black anyway, just in general, just kind of like rooting like, in spirit. But like as far as a character goes, she was so exciting because you could tell she had a great energy for the game. She had little pieces of Marianne in her, where Marianne, you could just feel
Hmm.
that exuberance just jumping out of her skin. Same thing with Morriah. I just like, oh yeah, she's gonna be such a good energy on the show. And then it's like not if you get rid of her early. It's funny because this Kumbaya tribe, they were talking about how we all love each other and this, that, and other, but it seems like they voted off the most Kumbaya person of them all. Kind of counterintuitive, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they rejected the kumbaya. Like, I felt like that the almost like the narrative of the show was okay. Well, Morriah came here to make friends, came here, kumbaya. Hey, we all were the winners here, and that I think that like I felt like the show was saying like, okay, wake up call. It's not that.
Yeah, if the show wasn't saying it, the players definitely was. Because I know, like even Owen has the quote, "Is it like I feel like we waited too long to start, and this is the reason we're so close right now. We can't bear to see somebody go because we were too peaceful for so long when we should have been gaming." And I think the show kind of lends itself toward that now. They give us the character moments, but then when they throw them on the island, it's a shorter time now. So they don't have as much time to dilly dally. They have to start making these connections. They have to start making game moves. And there's so many twists coming that we don't even know about that potentially like repeat twists, new twists. It's like, yeah, you can make friends while you strategize, but you probably need to be strategizing, within hours of getting on the island. Waiting a day or two doesn't seem like the good idea these days.
Okay. Did you happen to check out my exit interview with Morriah?
I did. I liked it.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like again, great energy. I wasn't gonna miss that.
Yeah, really fun. Let me just share a clip from one of the listeners, Ahmad, reality underscore Ahmad, uh, clip this moment. I thought it was a really funny moment from the interview. Here is my conversation with Morriah. And as you can see, here I am, and here's Morriah, and I wore a very colorful shirt for you today.
That's not colorful, Rob.
There are colors in that shirt. What color? I see green. I see plaid.
There's
Is plaid a
green, is
color?
like purple. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think plaid counts as a color. I think she's right. If you wear a plaid
Plaid
shirt,
is multiple colors.
yeah, but if you always wear plaid, it's just like they start to run together. And plaid was your thing for a while. Now, coincidentally, you're not wearing a plaid shirt today.
Yeah, try to mix it up. It's the new era, Chappell.
Yeah,
And keep things
drop the plaid, keep the
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, try to mix it up. I still have some plaid shirts, but most of my wardrobe is older than half of the people on the show.
Yeah, it feels like Morriah shamed you into getting some younger clothes. She's like, you need to wear colors, It does
Yeah,
feel like it. Yeah, it's
try to
like
mix it up.
she was on your ass about that. She's like, hey, that's not it. And so, yeah, we gotta be more like Morriah. We gotta start to diversify and maybe
Mhm.
dress a little bit younger. Not too young, because like you said, some of these people they're younger than Big Brother. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people younger than Big Brother.
Very weird. Very, very weird. Like I know I'm an old. I get it. I am a billion years
An
old.
old
But
head.
yeah, it's really jarring to see people who's like, yeah, when I was born, Survivor was on in the delivery room. Like, oh dear God, all these people's stories were so touching. But I swear, the younger they get, it's like, I remember when I was conceived, Survivor was in the background. I don't need that.
Yes. Did anybody come forward and say that they were conceived to an episode of Survivor?
Not yet. I'm sure it's
Mhm.
coming. You don't think it's coming?
Well,
It's
that's
coming.
how it happens. Yeah.
That's how it goes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That would be wild if somebody, they would put that person on the show.
Of course. Like if you're
Mhm.
listening to this right now, you don't need a lot of help with your audition. Just say those exact words. I was conceived to Survivor, and they're gonna just fast track you on to finals.
Yep. Not only would you be on the show, your like lower third on the bottom of the screen, it would be conceived by Survivor.
Yeah, regardless of how many PhDs you have, how many accolades and jobs you have, they're just gonna cross them all out like they did Sammy's and just put Survivor baby,
Mhm. Mhm.
conceived by Survivor. That's what it's gonna say, not during, but conceived by Survivor.
Yep.
What Survivor is like. Never mind. I'll keep that to myself.
Why don't we take a voicemail here on
Sure.
the Survivor Feedback Show? And again, if you have questions, you can ask them during the chat. We'll star them and we will bring them into the show. Let's go to a question from Heather Burton. This was something that came up right at the end of my podcast with Zach. We have been talking about it on the RHAP Podcast TikTok, where if you are not following us on TikTok, what are you even doing? We're posting original content there and some of the best moments from the show. Here's a question from Heather.
Hi, Rob. I'm wondering if after tonight's episode with
Morriah getting voted out if you think there's any validity to Marianne's Curse of the M theory. We'd love to hear your input on this.
Okay. Chappell. All right. Marianne, in my legendary 5.5 hour interview, revealed her Curse of the M. And what she said that would it be good? Should I bring in Mary the video if I go to the Robert's Podcast TikTok? Would that be
Do it.
because I could reset it, but that we could
Nobody
just
says it better than Marianne. I think you should bring her in.
yeah, it is Marianne's theory. Okay. So let me go ahead and here is okay, let me bring this up and here's Marianne herself to describe the Curse of the M.
The Curse of the M. So, going into the game, I knew that from season 33 onwards, excluding season 34, but that's a returnee season, if you are a woman and your name starts with M, the first tribal you attend, you go home. It happened to Mari on Millennials versus Gen X. It happened to Morgan in Ghost Island. It happened to Molly on Island of the Idols. So, going into the game, I knew that weird pattern. So I was like, oh my gosh, my name starts with M. But so does Morriah's name. I'm like, who cursed people?
That was season 42 Morriah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
I mean, it works both ways.
Yeah.
Started with M. And then looking back, actually, I looked back with Jordan Kalish, and this curse goes on literally in the whole history of Survivor.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why Jordan Kalish had to get involved.
Well, if you're looking for a Survivor historian, I mean, who else can you find? Like Jordan Kalish is the guy.
I don't love this freeze frame also on my face also.
No, it's not great. Not great. But look, you're not wearing plaid.
Oh my God, indeed. Yeah.
You're not wearing plaid. So it's, show that to Morriah, not this Morriah, but the new Morriah, not the old Morriah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. But she goes on.
Michaela was lucky Mari was there to
So basically, so we have Michelle from Pearl Islands. Technically, she did go to her first tribal and survive, but Burton was voted out first, but came back.
And they threw it.
Yeah, they have. We also have Guatemala Morgan. We have Misty from Exile Island, who didn't go to the first two. And then after, this one's kind of weird, where we have Marissa from Blood versus Water, but then after it's like the initial vote out with Rupert and Candace.
What about Mary from Survivor Micronesia?
Look at you.
I don't know. You would know.
Yeah. Yeah, that did happen. Okay. All right. And now here's Morriah. Another Morriah. Forget the Curse of the Morriahs. It's the Curse of the M's.
Yeah, Curse of the M's.
We thought Marianne broke it.
No, because she threw that other Morriah under the bus. You got to get one out of there first so that the other M names can live on. So you got to get rid of one. I saw the stats. I think Amy Cook posted it in the RHAP Has a Podcast.
Yeah, let me see if I can get the official list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. You're gonna pull it up.
Yeah, let me see. I will. I think it's in the off topic Facebook group. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I believe it's Mad Dog voted out at the second tribal council.
No, okay. Well, she was mad. I was gonna say Mad Dog. I don't think should count. But that is
why
her name is Marilyn. Her name is Marilyn. Her name is Marilyn. Okay.
Her name is Mad Dog.
Survivors. You have Michelle in Pearl Islands. Again, Burton got voted off first. Morgan in Guatemala. Melinda.
Can we stop down on Morgan? Can we just for a second? Why are there so many forgotten Morgans in Survivor history? When Marianne said Morgan, I was like, who? And she said it twice, I think. There's another Morgan who was forgotten, who went home because of the curse. I think Ghost Island Morgan. No disrespect to these people, but who are these people?
Who are these Morgans? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can give you the full list. Okay. And then we have Misty, Melinda, and then Michelle Yee, saved from curse by Mary, Michelle I didn't even forget about the Michelle from Gabon, Marissa, Michaela. Make it make sense, Chappell. Why is this happening?
It makes sense that all these names are so forgotten because they only get one tribal council. Because at first I thought, like, am I tripping? There's a Michelle from Gabon, but if she only went to one tribal council, then it's easy to forget about her. Yeah, this is tough. Maybe we should just stop casting M names altogether until we figure things out. We
Mm-hmm.
got our Marianne. Do we need to? And we got Michelle Fitzgerald. Do we need to go back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, do most women's names start with M? Is there a logical explanation for this?
I don't know, but I think Survivor just maybe the casting people just really like M names.
They love
and it's
M
the thing.
names? Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it are they just like predisposed to like what like why would this be happening? Is this do we live in a simulation?
Well, yeah, it's two things going on at the same time. Survivor producers are casting more these M names because they are just predisposed to liking M names, but the castaways are predisposed to hating them, and they vote them out at every chance they get. So
Yeah.
it's like this endless. Honestly, you have to keep doing this. I feel like it just keeps Survivor in balance. Like Marianne almost upset the power structure last time, but like the Morriah sacrifice was a good one, and now
Yeah.
we're back to square one. We got rid of a Morriah again. We had to, like I said, it's a delicate balance. So I
Mhm.
think that even if it is a conspiracy, we need to leave it be.
Okay. Eric in the chat says the M stands for misogyny. Oh,
Ding, 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 ding,
yeah.
ding, 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 ding. Like, yeah. And we could talk about that a little bit in terms of this episode. Not to say that there was any misogynist behavior, but if you look at the challenges and these people don't want to lose, and they think, the first episode we had to carry these huge boxes that even Gio was struggling with. Maybe they feel like some of the women that are on the tribe might not be strong enough to do some of that. They also
Mhm.
have like other stuff they have to do around camp that takes a lot of strength, lifting this stuff. Not to say that the women can't, but if people are predisposed to believing that, then it's always going to make it easier to be like, well, can't we just get rid of the women? Because we can keep whatever Mike's name is. His name starts with M. You could have got rid of him, but no,
Mhm.
I think you can justify saying, well, we got to keep the tribe strong by
You gotta keep
throwing
the tribe
the
strong,
women under
right.
the bus a lot. Yeah. So I would say that there might be a twinge of the misogyny in there.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I don't love three tribes. I mean, also somebody who was voted out of a tribe, 6-person tribe.
I was
don't
gonna say,
love
yeah,
that
I was gonna
either.
say, is
It's
that the
like,
reason why?
is it the weakest? Yeah.
Does your name start with an M?
No, but my name does not start with M. No M's
Yeah.
in my name. So
Yeah, not
I
that,
don't know.
Rob. Yeah.
I don't know. But the curse of the M's lives on. Marianne put it out there. Whatever woman has a M name in Survivor 44, everybody is going to be on pins and needles for whatever happens there.
Yeah, future justice for future Morgan. I know when she's get casted, she's going to be
All the future Morgans.
all the
Yes.
future Morgans. If you're out there, Morgan, good luck.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Godspeed.
All right. You want to take another question? Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. How about a question? Okay, this is a fun one. All right. Our good friend Brian Hickey has a question for us. Let's talk about, this era of Survivor and some of the things that Jeff set up in the premiere.
Hey, Robin Chappell. This is Brian Hickey calling from Las Vegas. I had to crack up for a minute because Jeff was like, Survivor, it's a game where there's no rules and you build this community. No rules? Did he see Card Shark Island and the whole list of rules for that game they had to play? Not to mention the thousands of idols and nullifiers and things that have rules with them. No rules? I was gobsmacked. What do you guys think about that?
Are there no
Survivor game
rules?
with no rules?
Yeah. Are there no rules or are there a million rules,
I
Chappelle?
would say Survivor potentially has the most rules of any other game that ever existed because at any given turn, they can just give you another rule. It's like, hey, this challenge is for immunity, but the only rule here is that no, it's not. We're going to break the hourglass and you're actually going to be in danger. It's like, wait, I thought the challenge was for immunity. Yeah, but we changed the rules. So I don't know. I think this person's up to they're on the right track because there's a rule for literally every round of play for Survivor. Everything that they do have a rule, a note attached to it, some type of stipulation. So yeah, Survivor to not have its own rules, it does sound like a stretch. But I like what Jeff is trying to set up here. It feels like it's very different. This is not the Survivor of yesteryear, if you will. And so we're trying to make it more like a game. Like we got this island, and the people and the gameplay is the real character now. It's not about the culture or the struggles these people are going to have. It's about the actual game of Survivor in quotation marks.
Yeah. I did like what they set up at the start of the show and about how like it's a game about like okay, there is a game, somebody's going to win, but most of you won't, and really, it's also that you're on an adventure and also you're on this personal journey, which, I just like that the show is clear about what it is. Like there are these two things that are happening at the same time. And I don't think that other shows are necessarily like The Challenge is not that.
Yeah.
Big Brother
Yeah.
is not that.
Mm-hmm.
The Amazing Race is Amazing Race. I think is like you're on an adventure. Maybe you'll learn something about yourself. But like I do think it is important to like that the show is like clear that is also what they're going for.
Yeah, that's true. And if you really like start to think about it, I think that Jeff is trying to get ahead of some of the criticism too, because now he says these players create their own rules for the game and they decide who wins the game, and it's based on them inside the game. So you at home you at home don't get to yell at me because your favorite didn't win or you didn't like the twist, because at the end of the day, no matter if Edge of Extinction exists or doesn't exist, these people can vote for it or not vote for it, and we've seen it happen both ways. And so I think that's what he's trying to get ahead of. Like, this is the game for you that y'all create on this island. Don't come to me complaining when you lose the game because you feel like such and such was robbed or this should have happened. It's like, y'all made the rules. I'm just hosting. So I'm kind of with Jeff on this one. I like that. Put it all in their hands.
Chappell, let me bring in our first caller to the show. We have someone who's here who has a question. His name is Cockatoo Boy.
It's Chappell.
Yes,
Omer.
Cockatoo Boy.
I wouldn't have come
AKA
if I had known it was him.
Omer.
You can leave.
Yes.
No, I promised you I would. But what is Chappell's problem with Kumbaya tribes? Why do you have so much hate in your heart for these tribes that are just trying to be a family?
You were tearing families apart last season without even having a vote. Don't start with me, Omer. Winking at the camera, playing it up. Yeah, you're a part of the problem. This is why we don't like the problem.
I did vote Morriah out, and that was perpetuating the M curse.
That misogyny.
Okay. Omer, did you know about the M curse, or did you feel like, hey, I have an embarrassment of riches? I have two women here with the letter M that I could vote out here to keep it going.
I mean, I wish I could say that I had known, because I would have perpetuated the curse had I known intentionally. It was more of obviously a subconscious thing. The one that I was aware of, though, was the curse of the Lindsay with an E, who never did so hot on Survivor before. Always the pre-merger or the quitter. But Lindsay with the A's are really coming through here.
Oh, wait. So hold on a second. So, so that Lindsay, who are the Lindsays with A's and who are the Lindsays with E's?
Okay, so Lindsay Richter, Survivor Africa.
Is E or
is
A?
an E. Is an E.
Yeah.
I think Lindsay Cascaden was an E too.
Which one is that? You got it.
Oh, okay. The Worlds Apart. The hero.
What about
someone on this? Lindsay Ogle is an E.
Yeah, that is an E. And I think she quit so she wouldn't kill Trish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or was that just a convenient excuse? Who's to say? Who is to say?
So it's A before E is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. A before E. Lindsay Delashowicz, however you pronounce that, is the first one to come through with a merge buff and a strong run. So we'll see if the new Lindsay can follow suit. Who's to say?
It's the new era, the Lindsay uprising. I'm a fan of the new Lindsay and the old one. So, where is the other Lindsay, Omer? You were supposed to bring friends.
Oh, I know. Okay, I promised myself. I didn't promise anyone else.
Wow. I knew it was just going to be you. I mean,
okay. Omer, did you have a feedback question for us?
I do have a feedback question for you. I want to know what you guys think should be a priority for these early tribes, because we saw a little bit of a debate of, do we vote out the person that is maybe physically weaker, potentially, arguably, we don't know though, or do we try to keep the sense of tribe unity, although they all voted the same way anyways? But what's more important, a cohesive team or physical strength? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I really feel like that what we saw, and I feel like that the lesson from 41, and I guess I have to look at it through the prism of 42 also, is, keep your allies. I mean, I feel like that's sort of like the idea, where Ricard and Shan came through. Well, it didn't really work out for them great. Just having the numbers of not going to those challenges doesn't necessarily ensure anything. Look at the Danny, Deshaun, Erica tribe. They got to the merge, they didn't go to one tribal council, and they were a disaster when they got there. So I think you want to sort of just get rid of the people that aren't in your alliance, and don't even worry about tribe strength.
So you got to vote out Chappell, who's trying to divide the tribe with anger and hatred.
No,
Whoa.
never.
Whoa. I was like, Rob, please. I mean, we could think back to Survivor the All-Stars, right? I mean, Rob, your tribe wanted to keep the tribe strong, so they got rid of you. They kept Suhawk, so this is a tale as old as time. And then they went on to went on to
win. What though? They look, Chappell, it worked out for them. However, comma but I don't know. Well, they also they got Suhawk left, but you know what? Suhawk probably wasn't going to flip. She probably she probably wasn't going anywhere. So I would have flipped. They did make the right decision. I would flip the first second. I was counting down the days to flip. They were smart. They were smart to get rid of me.
Yeah, I mean that's what you just basically just said. With Erica, they kept her around, and she wasn't a huge asset in the challenges, and they couldn't trust her. And then when they got down to the end of it, she won the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Omer, do you agree that you just keep your numbers? Don't even worry about tribe strength.
You gotta keep. Well, I think our first tribal council, we chose strength over loyalty. Although we were all kind of a kumbaya family. So I think ultimately, yes, you want to keep the people that are the most loyal and the most vibes, I would say, and keeping a tight core, I think, is important. But if you're someone like Ellie, everybody's your tight core. So who's to say?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they made the right decision, but we'll see.
Omer, how difficult was it for you to pretend to be likable for so many days? Like when it was kumbaya, how were you like Rob? Were you gritting your teeth like Owen? Like were you like, I just want to vote y'all out, but I have to pretend to?
No, I'm a sweet angel,
Uh-huh.
sweet virginal angel.
Okay. You were preying on their downfalls from day one.
Yeah,
you can only be a pigeon for so long. Cuckoo.
Okay. Speaking of bird, question from the chat. Midwest Sunshine says, Omer, what bird is Chappell?
Oh, Chappell is definitely a cuckoo bird. The ones that are nest parasites that come along,
nest parasites,
kick out the old eggs, put in their new eggs, or the more sadistical cuckoo birds they don't even kick out the old eggs. They just add their eggs, and then their babies bully the other ones and knock them out of the nest. So that is Chappell, Yeah. I mean, some could say that's king behavior. Take what's yours. But
I was gonna say, at first it sounded kind of bad, and then I was like, no.
You're known as a nest parasite.
Yeah, I think that goes on. On brand for me as a Slytherin that I am. At least I'm not a dodo bird like Puya.
Wow. You know what? The dodo bird is actually a large species of pigeon. And it's only extinct because people are terrible. They would have done just fine.
Puya's terrible too, so.
Okay. Omer, overall, what did you think of the Survivor 43 premiere?
Oh, I thought it was excellent. I thought that everybody was so likable, and I thought that it was I thought it was very good. I didn't know how it would be watching the first season since I was on, but it was actually the whole group is so likable. It's hard to find. And even our mini villain, Cody, he's so fun to watch. He's hilarious. And I want to know, which one would you do? Would you buy his elevator, or would you let Sammy cremate your pet or yourself? Who's to say?
Man.
I mean,
pet cremation does sound good.
Well, okay. Actually, can we, I think I would let him Sammy cremate my pet. I mean, the pet's already,
You don't want an elevator in your house?
What's he gonna the elevator? I could see going all sorts of wrong. But I kind of feel like the pet at the point that Sammy is getting it, how can he screw it up? I mean,
but what about those days where you need to rest your legs, get in that elevator, go to the top floor?
Yeah, I'm fine. But let me ask you, Omer, do you deal with any pet cremators in your line of work?
Oh, yeah. So this is the first time I've ever seen one of the people on the other side of those dead bodies. And I'm a little scared to send those dead bodies now, given all the excitement there is in tossing those bodies into the kiln.
Do you know a lot about that industry? I did not think that pet cremation, a pet cremator was a actual title.
So, okay, I will preface this by saying that Sammy is an incinerator king, and I have nothing bad to say about him. However, I did see in his pregame thing, he's like, "Oh, I got to deal with all these owners when they're about to lose their pets, and then I burn their pets." But it's like those people never deal with the pets. We just send them the frozen body. So what? Like, what is he talking about? I'm the one that's dealing with those people. But now they have to be quite artistic, I think, because sometimes they don't just burn the bodies; they have to do the paw prints and the claw
You don't
prints.
know this, Omer, that he might he might deal direct with the customers. You know, the people you know, the people what if they're just like, okay, the pet dies in the home. They might just skip
No, because
you.
I think you gotta submit it to a clinic to submit to the thing.
That
At
might
least
just be
here.
Canadian laws.
That might be Canadian law.
We do back alley stuff
We
here in
just
the
do
US.
whatever here.
Yeah, sometimes you just
Yeah.
have. I'm not saying I would do it, but I could
Is
imagine
Chappell
people
running
just.
a basement incineration?
Listen, you're the only person keeping Sammy in business, okay? So don't come at me
Yeah.
like the checkout line. You just pass him on. He grabs him by the feet and throws him in the furnace.
Yeah, all those lizards, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Omer, we really appreciate you coming on and saying hello. And
Yes.
anything else you want to let us know while you're here?
No, just keep enjoying season 43. It's off to a good start.
Okay. Where can people follow you, Omer?
My Instagram is ozahir24. My Twitter is omerzahir_dvm. And right now I'm just studying a lot, so I don't have a lot going on besides the show, occasional podcast, occasional Twitch stream, which I wish Chappell would show up to more often so I could kill him in the game, but he doesn't come very often, so...
Don't we have a movie that we have to watch? Aren't we watching Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey soon? We can watch that.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Omer, thank you so much for coming on, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, take care.
All
Bye.
right, take care. Bye. All right. That was so fun. Thank you so much, Omer.
Yeah, so polite, so kind, with nothing rude to say about me at all. Thank you, Rob.
What is the origin story of your rivalry with Omer?
I am an animal lover. He is not. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I think Omer was very happy that I was like high on his game for Survivor last season. I would have picked Omer
And he played a
if
great
I
game.
given a chance. Yeah. So my first two picks were Omer and Marianne. And I might have said that Omer is who I would have voted for first. Would have drafted first, even though we all know it was Marianne from jump, right? So but because of that, I think Omer can respect that I respect his game. And so I welcome a little bit of the rudeness,
Okay. Let's take a question from another one of our great friends, Megan the Librarian, not from Houston though. Okay. Here is Megan the Librarian.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Chappell. This is Megan the Librarian calling. I'm sitting here with Philip, my beloved pet Shih Tzu, and basically we just called to say, what the hell? I'm not an expert on Edgic, but I feel like joking about incinerating an adorable dog is pretty OTTN, right? So I feel like they're giving Sammy a real villain edit here. What do you guys think? Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay. Chappell. Yeah, he did say that he throws Shih Tzus into the incinerator.
Yeah, he says it so flippantly. I think that's what makes it funny. Because he's just like talks about it like it's normal. And I think most people, their day to day, they don't really think about pet cremation. You probably don't imagine your pet dying often. And then if you do, you probably imagine maybe the funeral service that you might have for the pet, the memorial that you might do, maybe that. But I don't think people are looking forward to the day that they can throw their animal into the furnace. And so for Sammy to just say it, it's kind of like, I've never heard those words aloud before, Rob. When was the last time anybody's ever said the sentence to you, throw that Shih Tzu into the incinerator?
Never. I've never heard it before.
Yeah, it was new.
Yeah. So, but do you think that the fact that he is talking about these things, do you feel like is that sort of as villainous as the Survivor edit gets now in the Survivor 40s era?
No, because I think Josh Kettles in the chat does say that Sammy explicitly said, don't think of him of just throwing the Shih Tzus in the incinerator. And so I think that he's saying, I am more to me than, there's more to me than just my dirty job that I do, and I'm better than that. And so I'm thinking that this could be a winner edit.
Yeah, but you know what? Somebody who really doesn't want you to think of him throwing Shih Tzus into the incinerator does not say, don't think of me throwing Shih Tzus, because you can't tell your brain to not think of something. You know?
Yeah, it's like when Dwight said, "Don't think of me as Dwight from The Office." Now every time I see him, he's Dwight from The Office. He might just change his Twitter name to Dwight from The Office / Survivor 43. You know, because that's what I think of him as. Yeah, you're right. He incepted into all of us because now he's always going to be the Shih Tzu guy.
Yeah.
If he doesn't well, I mean, let's be honest. He's going to come up with more more references to the pet cremation throughout the season.
Sure.
You know,
and that might be like a Big Brother, like Jasmine Diary Room type thing, where the
Right.
people's like, can you give us like what would you say to a dead pet right now?
Exactly. They're asking a lot of questions. So in what ways is Survivor like, melting animals, burning animals,
Yeah,
microwaving
dehydrating animals, right?
Yeah, exactly. So is finding an idol like the death of a loved one, as far as the pets go, I feel like these questions are going to come for him, and he's got to answer them in a clever way. So we're going to get a lot more from him. But if we don't, he's always going to be the Shih Tzu guy.
All right, you brought up Dwight, Chappell. Let's bring in another one of our friends here who has a question about Dwight. Here is the great Addison. Addison, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. So I wanted to talk about Dwight, and I wanted to give a compliment to production, which I know it's a lot. I never thought I'd be doing it in the new era, but here we are. So when Dwight found out he lost his vote for the next tribal council, I noticed that it specifically said that you cannot cast any votes, which is different because before it's just like you lost your vote. And we're like, well, what if they have an extra vote? Like, how does any of this work? Like, it's like they came up with their list of twists and then didn't think of how they interacted at all. So I wanted to give them a compliment and say, could this mean that maybe now they're thinking more, how is everything going to relate as a full season?
Yes, it is possible. Yes, they really didn't play test Survivor New Era, and Survivor 41 and Survivor 42 were the guinea pigs that go to Omer and then eventually go to Sammy. And so now they've sort of like, oh, okay, well, now we've like perfected this.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Was like, that's impressive.
Yeah, listen, us Survivor fans, we're gonna find something to complain about, and so I think every season they probably sit down with a notepad and write down, okay, what are things that we can, what are the easy fixes that nobody noticed on production, but every super fan has noticed, and that was one of them. They just kind of put in like small writing, like, oh yeah, no votes at all, period.
And it's the never again will there be an advantage that's non-transferable. It's they learned their lessons on the fine print of these things.
Exactly.
Did you notice anything else like that they did in the 43 premiere?
I noticed the opposite, which is that the people I watched with as well were also very confused about the idol that Gabler got. Because in the same way, if I heard it brought up on the podcast, it was like, is it only good for the first 2 tribal councils? Or can he use it at both of his first 2 tribal councils? I know that the people I was with were also confused about that. And I was like, there's no way they gave him an idol for 2 tribal councils. That doesn't make sense. And so another thing, they fix one thing and then they make an issue in their little like board game card table. And as someone who owns not only Survivor the board game, but Survivor the Australian Outback the board game,
yes,
they could only wish that there was a mechanic that interesting in those games.
How does the game work? I need to know.
No,
it
you do not. They're awful.
Wow. I was already looking up.
It was a cash grab. It was no, it did that. Well, that's good. It was a cash grab. Yeah, it was like how do we make money off of this as quick as possible?
They were terrible.
Terrible. Okay. All right. Well, Addison, thank you so much for calling. Everything's good with you?
Let's hope.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So far.
Yeah. All right. All right, Addison. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. Let's pick up one more of our callers, and then I want to talk to you about the battle of the salespeople on Survivor 43. Okay. Here's Michael. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. How are you guys tonight?
Very good, Michael. What's going on?
Oh, not much. I really wanted to talk to you guys about, obviously in season 41 and 42, we had the very silly and goofy idol phrases And just by design, they can no longer do that. I think they've confirmed that's not going to happen. But I wanted to hear if we could like tweak this a little bit. Is there something very silly that we can integrate into the game to get us idols? Like what's the next evolution of this twist? I have some ideas, but I don't know. I'll throw it to you guys first.
Chappell, do you have a thought on this?
I mean, I hate to keep circling back to pet cremation, but I mean, it's right there. If somebody just randomly, if somebody just randomly said that on a mat in any season, you'd be like, I wonder. But this season is the one time you could get away with it.
Okay, so you think that he could, that when he says like, well, Jeff, as a pet cremator, I don't want people to think of me as putting a Shih Tzu into the incinerator. People are like, oh, he's got an idol.
There it is. There it is. That's the broccoli.
Bingo.
There it is.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I have thought though that perhaps moving the instead of on the mat chat, I feel like that's where people are looking for it. I wonder, could you do something at tribal council where, okay, to activate the idol, you have to get up and give somebody a hug before the votes start? Or is there something that you can do in a different spot where people wouldn't necessarily be thinking that is the spot where you have to do some crazy prank?
Yeah, so that's the first thing on my list. I've got three things here. The first one was, tribal. I think that's the next evolution, is you just say something silly at tribal. I'll throw one out to you guys. What about so today I was scrolling TikTok and I had the Ponderosa video show up on my TikTok. So I think Survivor is very interested in the TikTok. It's the TikTokification of Survivor, right? So
Sure.
what if there was what if you win the challenge and you have to do a TikTok dance?
Ooh. We just saw Julie Chen do a whole TikTok routine for
Big Brother
so
already did it.
Yeah,
True,
it's not out of the
true.
question.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be very funny though, Rob, when you were talking about getting up and hugging somebody. Michael, what if it's like the kiss of death? You have to get up and hug the person that you're about to vote out. Like you go over and hug them. You're like, I'm sorry. What happened? And all of a sudden you pull out your idol at the last minute. Good times. I think you could get some good entertainment from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad idea as far as actually making physical contact with the person you're going to vote out. And when you do that signs the bill, that is your vote. Did Boston Rob do something like that? What was it touch
Yeah.
So what he did was that he's like, hey Philip, I'll tell you who to vote for. I'll put my I'll put my shoulder on the person, you vote for them. But it wasn't even the real person they were voting out, but it was just a test to see if Philip would do what Boston Rob told him to do. Yeah. So that did come up once in Redemption Island.
I like it.
I would like to see it. I would like to know that somebody has instructions. If somebody touches you on the shoulder, that activates their super idol or whatever. And so you're sitting there, the whole tribal council dodging people. When people start whispering not me, because you think they might pull out some advantage. I think tribal council is where we need more theater. I really do. I think there's a lot that we lose when we spend most of the episode, on the island. When we have long tribal councils, I always know this is going to be a good episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes that they really spend a lot of time there. I thought, and I did not get an official count of this, and maybe one of the listeners could tell us. I really thought that the tribal council segment, I thought seemed short this week, and I feel like that was a good thing. I've been saying for a couple of years, tribal council is too fat. When you go back and watch the old seasons of Survivor, that tribal council was basically it's all one segment of they lose the challenge, they come home, they strategize, and they go to tribal council. Tribal council is 3-4 minutes. I thought that this tribal council seemed on the shorter side to me than tribal councils from the last couple of seasons, but it might have just been a feeling more so than an actual. But it did not feel long to me.
There wasn't much to talk about.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's there's those episodes where you're you're 35 minutes into the episode and you go to tribal and you're like, there's a revote and possibly a rock draw, even in those instances, I'm you totally could have cut that down. I feel like the lead up to that is always way more,
but it's a waste of time. It's everybody is doing theater. Everybody Jeff's asking questions. People are answering in vague ways. They're trying to throw people off. It's not helpful, really at all for us. Everything that happens before the votes are cast is all just nonsense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe
You don't need
maybe. Well, if they had subtitles, I think it would help, right? Because all this whispering, if I have to sit
Or
here and watch you whisper, but I
confessionals
can't
even.
understand. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
like,
Give me
yeah,
the
I said that
confessional.
because I'm really not doing that. But it's all
Mhm.
just like to disorient us, so we are surprised when the votes get read.
When is that war broke it? You know, because I remember those tribal councils that went over the war. They were so boring because they just sat there in silence. Jeff is like, "Give me something. Who's on the bottom? Tell me anything." And just like, no, I think we're good here, Jeff. I don't no. You know, they were so cagey about it, and now I feel like that set the tone for this new era.
We've talked about Survivor seatbelts before, right? At Tribal, just can we buckle them in? And even if there is that moment when things start to get heated, like you can't whisper. You know, if you got to talk to somebody on the other side of the Tribal Council area, you're gonna have to just say it. So
you lose your vote. Yeah,
you lose your vote. You can get up, but you lose a vote.
You get up, but it'll activate your idol. You know.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right, Michael. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay.
Yeah, pleasure to talk to you guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Okay. Actually, Chappell, so Michael brought up the TikTok, the Survivor TikTok. And so if you were following Survivor on TikTok or Instagram, probably Twitter too, you got to see a first where last season we did not have any Ponderosa videos for Survivor 42, but videos from the Ponderosa are back. And I know that you had said before we started that you hadn't seen this. So are you interested in watching with me the new look Ponderosa video for season 43?
Oh yeah. I need this because it's been so long since we've seen Ponderosa.
Okay, let's check it out. And so we've never had, to my knowledge, we've never had Ponderosa videos from before the merge. But here we go. Basically, it seems like that forget the producers, forget the camera crew. Survivor is going to say, here, take the phone, Morriah, and make your own Ponderosa video.
Yeah, why pay people when we could just make you do it? We just starved you. Now go make us content. I like this.
All right, so here we go. Let's why it's short. Let's watch it and see what's going on here at Ponderosa. Okay, so here we go. Let me just make sure we get the sound turned on, and here is Morriah.
The Ponderosa, where you can be restored, rejuvenated, replenished, and rebirthed. Let me take you on a tour. Here we go.
Okay. So, yeah, you get restored at Ponderosa.
Restored, rejuvenated, replenished, and rebirthed. I've never wanted to go on Survivor before, but this actually sounds like it might be worth it.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
They call it Survivor After the Snuff. I thought that's what Sammy does.
Survivor Cremation Island. You know? Yeah. When you get voted out, your fire is what? No longer lit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna throw you into the incinerator.
Yeah. Fire represents your life, and also what comes next.
Yeah. You're dead.
Okay. All right. After the snuff. Here we go.
Let's get one thing straight. I'm the Ponderosa Queen, and this is my table. And
okay. So first off, Morriah, she has her own table here. She's the first one there.
I bet she has a bunch of tables. I bet she has a kitchen, a room, a whole Ponderosa because she is first. But if she wants to be the queen, who's going to stop her? She's the only one there.
Okay. Queen Morriah.
of course, I have the best view. You can even get yourself a nice cocktail.
Okay. So there's a bar at the Ponderosa? They make drinks?
I always assumed that there was a bar at Ponderosa. I mean, you've been to Ponderosa for a little bit.
So I've been to a Ponderosa that I have always in my experience and from what I've seen, like I always thought the Ponderosa is sort of like, serve yourself. Didn't know that, but maybe like in the new era, also like maybe we're also monitoring people's alcohol consumption. Like maybe like it's like in my experience, like that like the alcohol was kind of out. You could just go like, all right, it's been a long, we get voted out on day 12. Didn't see that coming. All right, well, I'll make mine a double. But maybe that they have somebody serving you here at Ponderosa.
Who do you think broke the open bar? Like who was the survivor in either pre-merge or after the merge. Oh, especially after the merge, who showed up at tribal council a little sauced up because they just kept reaching back behind the bar, and now they have to have a bartender and a monitor for this. Who was it?
It could have been anybody. I mean, they've been in Fiji for 10 years.
Yeah. I was actually going to go
Not
back.
10 years. They've been 10 seasons.
I was going to go back to Cambodia. I had a suspicion. Andrew Savage looked like he was having a good time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we can ask Steven. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, you think Steven gets sauced up at the Ponderosa?
He can get a little wound up.
Yeah, I bet. After all of that he went through in Second Chances, I can imagine that this is Steven's fault.
Yeah, I know he was under the weather, so maybe he wasn't partying that much, but he
under
get him on the right end.
under the weather. I've been under the weather too. It's called a hangover. You know?
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so just for the record, canonically, of course, this was Steven's fault.
Yes. Okay.
I don't drink, but I kind of act drunk most of the time. But
that's like you, right?
No, what? Don't drink but act drunk.
Yeah.
No.
You actually drink and act sober. Yeah.
That is the goal. That is the goal.
Yes.
She's living backwards. See, she couldn't have been a teacher for that long, because after a certain point, you just throw that all out the window.
But I'm sure once more people arrive, they're going to need themselves a drink, because you're normally in shock after you get voted out, even though I wasn't totally blindsided. Another great way to...
That's just she wasn't totally blindsided.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was either going to be her or Owen from her point of view.
Yeah.
And so
in my exit interview, I asked her about that. She said that she was did not see it coming at the start of tribal council, and then by the time that the votes were being counted, she was feeling kind of like it was going to be her.
Do you think she was just in her own head about it, or were they just saying things that were kind of making her spidey senses tingle?
I think the spidey senses start to tingle. I think you sense it's hard because, you know, and I was in this position also, and I had played a whole season beforehand of like, it's the first tribal council. You don't know what it's like. It's like you might think that, like, is everybody feeling like this? Like, is everybody feeling like that it could be them? So it is very, you know, a very tricky situation to navigate when you don't have no sense of what tribal council is even like.
Yeah, and I think just in general, I would carry that anxiety anyway. So I would always be on edge. I think someone said, like, if you got an idol, just play it. That's me. That would be me. Just everyone's like, oh, we love Chappell. We're good with Chappell. I'm just like, oh, it's me. Today's the day. Shot in the dark. You know, I'd have definitely played my Shot in the dark.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to Morriah.
Rejuvenate is by shopping. So I'm here with all of these beautiful Fijian clothes, jewelry, and hats.
Okay,
they got a
here's
gift
my
shop?
question. That's my question. Was there a gift shop, or she went to the store?
Wait a minute. They've been at Fiji that long that they've made themselves at home. That's what it is.
I think
like
gift shop, because this is still like I'm pretty sure they had to quarantine to go there. I don't think that they're like taking trips to the mainland.
For the flea market, I think you have to break some rules. I wouldn't be shocked if Morriah grabbed a little boat and just started paddling away.
Or maybe they feel like, hey, she's in Ponderosa. You know, if she gets COVID, whatever.
Yeah, no one's around. Listen, no one's looking. You know, just go and buy you some things. Man, I didn't know Ponderosa had a gift
I thought
shop.
there was a bubble.
I thought it was too. Obviously, it's not. I mean, man, and this makes me really want to apply for the show, because I know I would tear that Ponderosa flea market up.
Yeah. I mean, and then you have to spend your own money. It's like you lose Survivor, and then then they hit you up at the overpriced gift shop.
Wait, you got to use your own money? I was tripping. I thought we were using Survivor bucks or something like that. Jeffrey Dollars.
You think they give you a gift certificate to the Survivor Ponderosa gift shop?
I would hope so. I could grab a straw hat or something. You know, dang, it's the least you could give me. Got voted out first. What else do I have? Sam says fire tokens, and I mean, you got to use them for something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then let's go to.
So I'm here at the masseuse, getting ready to get a massage.
1 hour later.
Now,
Got some SpongeBob memes in there.
You know, you were the one who said that you would love to go play Survivor and get a vacation away from all of your work and family duties sometimes. And I cannot fault you at all. These people have a masseuse, a flea market, an open bar with wait staff. You know, I think, what's his name? Mike, the guy from this season, the guy who wants to use his Shot in the dark. What are they calling him?
Yeah, Gabler.
Gabler.
Yeah.
Yeah. No wonder why Gabler wanted to go home. He's like, I'll use my shine in the dark. If you want to vote me out, whatever. I'm not gonna use my advantage because look at Ponderosa. This is fun.
Right.
Survivor is not fun. Ponderosa, that's a good time.
23 days in Fiji is a honeymoon. That people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this.
Right. You're getting paid to do this. And all you gotta do is sleep outside for what, 3 days and lose a challenge? I could do that. Matter of fact, sign me up.
Yeah.
Call me in a favor, Rob. I won't be gone long.
Can I tell you something? I never minded being at the Ponderosa. In Survivor All-Stars, I loved being at the Ponderosa. You know what I had a problem with? When they sent me on my on our trip. And you know where they sent us, Chappell? You know where we went? We went to Patagonia. And if that sounds familiar to you, that's the place that they do the final leg of the challenge CBS. You know the place where the toughest reality TV competitors CBS has to offer all quit because it was so horrible? That's where I went.
They're like, okay, we're sending you to Patagonia, but don't worry, we got Rudy and Suhawk to keep you company. And
I was like, I quit. I quit. I was like Enzo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Enzo.
No, I'm
Justice for Enzo.
Justice for Enzo. Justice for Enzo. Yeah,
my goat.
Yeah, but no, that's what was horrible. Ponderosa was great.
Yeah, do you think they're hiring? I'm like, could I podcast?
You want to be on the dream team? Yeah.
No, I'd be the wait staff. I'm sure. Like, could you imagine being just the waiter for Survivor? You know, when these people come off the island, they're ordering whatever food they've been missing, and then they come over to you and it's just like, make me a drink, but make it strong. And I feel like I could influence the game like that, Rob. I could be like, pouring them up and also being like, yeah, that person sucks. Aren't you mad? Omer voted you out. Have another shot, and then you go
with the jurors.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. I need to apply for a job. I know you could get me the hookup. I know you can.
I do wonder maybe that is Morriah at her own Ponderosa that's not like the main the people like that are in the jury Ponderosa. Like I wonder maybe could it be a separate Ponderosa because they don't go on a trip and but they're not going to commingle with the jurors.
Wait. So this is the pre-merge has a Ponderosa and the jury has a Ponderosa as well. Are you telling me there's two separate?
So I don't really know how it works in the new era. But I think that they keep all of the people there for the whole time. But they used to go on a trip. Like the people from the pre-merge used to go like, okay, we'll send you all to Australia, but they're not doing that during the COVID times. So I don't know if they're just like sequester them separately.
Oh, this is great. I love the elitist Ponderosa theory. I love this so much. Can you imagine like
maybe Zach Werdenberger can call in and tell us how it goes.
Yeah, not only are you not dateable, but you also went to the ghetto. Like, because like imagine
there's a gift shop and a spa.
Imagine what the jury's getting. They're getting a mall. They're getting, like, oh my God. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. If you ended up in the pre-merge Ponderosa, God bless you, because the jury Ponderosa is where it's at.
Bless your life. Yeah.
That I've been rejuvenated from that beautiful massage. It's time to get replenished with this.
She's got a computer too.
Yeah, you see, just typing or something. Because I know she can't be on the internet, right? Like, well, I guess she can, right? She can FaceTime her folks probably at this point.
Yeah, maybe. As long as she's not like blogging that, hey, I was the first person voted off the Survivor, right?
I was the first person voted off the Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got TikToks to make. Of course, they gave her a computer.
Okay. All right. And then
amazing meal.
Yeah, how is that amazing meal? What is it? What is that?
What is it? Is that chicken strips? What is that?
It could be fish. Could be filet like yeah.
If you go on Survivor and you go to Ponderosa and you get fish and or coconuts or rice, something's wrong with you. Like you should not want to eat those things for months.
And a salad. What is that? Side salad?
A salad. The steak I would have, it would be the size of that computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually kind of looks like a binder now, Rob. Look at it.
Oh, maybe it is a binder. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, what does it say? Like the Queen, first person voted off of Survivor 43. Yeah, I thought it was like a Chromebook.
Yeah, it looked like one at first. It was propped up, but no, it's
that's
just
how
like,
good she is.
It's her nameplate.
Yes. Okay. And then
at the Queen's table. Woo! Look at that view. I'm in Fiji right now, and everybody else is stuck on the island, hungry, suffering. Not me.
Yep.
Welcome to
Queen stays queen. Okay.
Hell of
All
a
right.
vacation. You get TV time, you get a little clout, your name gets written down in the book of Survivor history, and you get a vacation. I mean, I don't know. I think there's merit to quitting. I mean, not necessarily putting your torch down, but if it's not going your way, sometimes just take your L.
They take care of you.
Yeah, they're gonna treat you right. I mean, I would get the value of $1 million out of my trip to Ponderosa. Like by the time I was done with Ponderosa, they'd be like, Chappell, you owe us money. Like you have to pay us. I'm sorry. It's not worth me staying out there for 3 weeks. It's just not.
Chappell, we have another caller to say hello. One of our friends here. It's Isaiah is here. Isaiah
for
Hi.
Survivor Philly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Isaiah, what's going on?
I'm good. What's going on, guys?
How
are
is
you?
Philly doing after Morriah was taken from us too soon?
We're pretty devastated. I'm not going to lie. You know, CBS has been doing this amazing push of Philadelphia natives. And when we lost her, I was very upset. I'm not going to lie. But it's okay. We still got another one in there. I think, do we have 2 or 3 this season? I think it's
James. And then
it's
James
3.
referred to Lindsay as, hey, us Philly people have to stay together. But I don't know if
So
she's
we got 3.
technically, I mean, I think she's actually from Greensboro, and I'm not sure how close she
That's not
lives to
Philly.
Philly. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not Philly.
yes.
She's
I think she's in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, but not necessarily Philly.
Yeah,
I'm not
ain't
sure
the
if she's a
same,
suburb. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it was pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie. I've noticed like CBS has been doing like this new push of like people with rainbow hair. Like that's the new thing. But
yes, on The Amazing Race as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
they love
so
it.
that was an added bonus. But I was really upset to see her leave. I'm not gonna lie. I like we got Big Brother people, but from Delaware, and now we're getting Philly people too. And I'm just like, keep casting people from around here. That's what I want.
Isaiah, would you wear a multicolored do-rag out on the island and go play Survivor?
I'll look like a damn fool now. But
That might get confusing with the buff.
Yeah.
It might. Or you could wear your buff on your head like Bryce and Dwight. Because they got like that's Bryce's signature look, and Dwight has now kidnapped it and made it his own.
Bryce is just like a trendsetter, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like the new thing people do. They have like ski masks and then they just have like their face showing. Like I can't pull that off, but Bryce is really good.
I didn't know people were doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Either we're old
summer.
or Isaiah's hanging out with other people.
I listen, yeet. There's a lot of people who do it, man. I'm telling you.
I'll be on the lookout for it. Yeah.
I will not.
Isaiah, what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I was off work and I was like, let me figure out something to talk about. So
Isaiah, you gotta know what you want to talk about before you come on.
I had this thing about rainbow hair, but I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right, so let's see. I have a question.
Yes.
How do you think the new state of Survivor, like this new era since Winners at War, all the seasons since then, how do you think they're holding up to all the originals?
I think it's a tough question. I thought 42 was better than 41. I think that 41, I talked about this on the know-it-alls the other night. I think that 41 came in and was just kind of all over the place. I feel like that 42, they really kind of, they had an amazing cast again. And I think that they really had this, I think it all started to come together. And I feel like that they're really starting to figure out what they're trying to do in the new era. So I think it's a work in progress. I think it's hard because the old seasons have like nostalgia around it. And so that like it may not necessarily even be that like they are so great, but they mean more because that they were from like, oh, I was in, like I always remember where I was when this happened and it was so new.
It's interesting because if you look at it, it feels like, and it's not bad because I'm actually enjoying the last few seasons, but it's like I'm noticing that it's kind of becoming a little bit more formulaic, where like obviously they completely just like change the titles with like numbers and the logos. We're seeing like the same like twist kind of being put in every single season now. We're starting to see like editing styles kind of like carrying over. So I'm just like, is that like the new thing now? Like I'm trying to figure out, because correct me if I'm wrong, isn't like the opening challenge from this season something that they did last season. Same with the second challenge. I think the second challenge was the first challenge from last season as well. So like I could be wrong, but it feels like.
I mean, I think it was a similar type of challenge. I don't know if this was the exact immunity challenge that was done.
Okay.
Yeah, they changed it up. I know that puzzle thing that they did was new. You know that, and I think that's interesting. But yeah, you're probably right. Like they're trying to figure out what works, and then when they find something that works, they're like, okay, put that in, and then next season we'll kick something out, scratch it out, and then try something else. But I like the puzzle thing that they did because they gave them the option to pick a different puzzle and leave the other two with whatever puzzle, depending on when you got there. I think they've done like something like that in the past, but I think it really worked here. So I get what you're saying, and I'm hoping that they play around with stuff a little bit more. Just because, like, why not? You know what I'm saying? It's been 20 years. Throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
Well, specifically though, that it is weird, and Zach and I were talking about this yesterday, but it's like it is weird that they're sort of like arrived at like, okay, this is the thing now. Okay, it's 3 tribes, and then everybody goes, then they make a decision, and then this is it. Like where it's like I feel like that there were points in Survivor history where they wouldn't want to do the same thing back to back. They're like, it's like how do we make it different every season? And it's almost like that. Hey, it's like we came up with what the new era is, and we're doing it every year, and we're not changing it because this is what it is.
And to be fair, that was awesome when they were changing locations for filming every single season. But like when they got to Fiji, it's like like we're gonna do this every time now. And then one other thing I also didn't notice. The challenges are very physical now. How do we feel about the challenges being like super physical now? Where like back then they had like an auction, they had like touchy subjects, they had like a little bit of everything where like, all right, let's mess with the game without actually messing with it. Like they have to expose themselves. Now it's kind of just like, all right, physical, swim, climbing, all that stuff. Like, how do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, Rob, should we bring back the Blair Witch Project challenge?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, like the way they did it in season 1 with Rudy, like I don't think we should bring back like doing it with the camera, but like Jeff telling a story and then the players have to go and do it. The last time we did it was in Second Chances, and it was great. And Steven won, and Abby Maria got mad, and
he screwed her over.
He screwed her over, and so like that was like a great moment. And I don't know why we haven't done that in 13 seasons.
Yeah,
12
that's
seasons.
right. It's more physical now. I mean, it really is. We're not going to do any fish counting challenges on this.
No, we're not. That it really is very, and we'll see what 43 gives us. But it's very formulaic, where every single challenge before the merge is going to be physical, is going to be an obstacle course, and go get a boat and go get the puzzle pieces and come back and then put the puzzle pieces together and then throw the thing through the roof. And that's what every pre-merge challenge is going to be. But then you get to the merge, and then every challenge is going to be, all right, stand perfectly still and hold.
Stand still.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
And whoever can hold this for 4 minutes is going to win immunity.
Yeah. Because I've noticed the same people win those challenges at that point, where like you just kind of like have these steamrolls with that. So I don't know.
So yeah, it is like very like samey on both for even when we get to like reward challenges too. Like is like some sort of like team obstacle course, and then all the individual challenges are go ahead and hold this thing, and maybe you get like a reward challenge post merge where it's like you're in groups of 4 and then do the obstacle course.
Like it's bad that I'm already expecting like, oh, they're going to do the Bowie and then you have to shoot it like a basketball to I can already like predict it. I'm sure the other people are doing that now when they go in.
We'll see. I mean, that's what we're expecting. Let's see if they defy our expectations. We've only seen one challenge.
I do like that they made the challenge more equitable for people who might not have as much strength by adding the puzzle component, because there used to be challenges that were just a puzzle, like complete this puzzle and whoever finishes the slide puzzle fastest or whatever wins. But then it would like that would be few and far between. Most of the challenge would be like, we saw Kobe beating Tina in a foot race, and jump in like archery and stuff like that. So it's like now it's like, okay, these people have the chance to make up the difference because they have basically a puzzle in every challenge. So you have to be well-rounded now. You can't just muscle your way through a lot of challenges until you get, of course, to the merge, like you said, and then you just have to stand really, really still, just don't move. Sometimes you can pull a rope, but you also have to do that really, really slowly. It's like a lot of core strength going into new Survivor.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
all right.
sure.
Isaiah, do you miss the themes?
Yes, I do.
Ooh.
I was gonna say I feel so attacked because my smoke detector is going off and someone's
Oh.
calling me out about it. So
Mhm.
I gotta dip
Well,
anyway.
we want you to be safe,
go.
Isaiah.
Yeah, I gotta dip anyway. But all right, it was
Okay.
nice talking,
All
guys.
Go change your
Let's take,
battery, Isaiah.
Change that battery. I don't want you to end up like the Shih Tzu. Okay.
Look
All
at
right.
him.
Okay. All right.
bye-bye.
All right, Isaiah. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. Chappell,
Hmm.
we saw in the Survivor episode that Cody had a big problem with Justine when he found out that she was in sales, because that is something you can never trust somebody in sales on Survivor. And Cody should know he's in elevator sales.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. When I first heard him say it, at first I am protective of was it Justine who he was accusing of
Right.
not being trustworthy? I'm protective of her because I drafted her for my team.
Mhm.
So I was like, what are you doing? Why are you putting this on her? And you have the same exact thing. Like, what is this? Why does she get in trouble for being a salesperson when you're, but then I stepped away from it. And I thought that is the funniest thing in the world, you know? Like, I let me find my job that I know inside and out probably, and let me go pin this on somebody else and just be like, you can't trust them. They're like, well, what do you do? I'm an elevator rider,
Mhm.
tester. You know, I don't
Yeah.
sell elevators, but I know you can't trust those salesmen.
Elevator attendant. Yeah.
Yeah, attendant. I love that. It was new. And at first, like I said, I didn't know how to feel, but I'm kind of like, yeah, I like that a lot. It's like start accusing people of the lies that you want that refer to you more. If you're lying about your age, accuse somebody else blindly of lying about their age. Why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a tell. I mean, that often you have people that are like lying about their profession, like always think everybody else is lying about their profession. So that maybe Cody, he's very suspicious of people who are in sales because he knows that they should not be trusted. And so it got me thinking, Chappell, of maybe there's something to this. Maybe Cody is right. Maybe we should be on the lookout for survivors who are in sales. And so I went back through the annals of Survivor history to find out about Survivor players who have been in sales. And I did a search on the Survivor Wikipedia page for list of American Survivor contestants. And I did a Control F for the word sales. And I found that it showed up 42 times.
Oh, okay. Basically one a season.
Drop the 4, keep the 2. Well, and there's a lot of people that they return. And I could tell you about some of the different Survivor salespeople. And so let's talk about it. And I would love for you to tell me, okay, based on what they sell, how much is this a salesperson that can be trusted or not? Okay.
Okay. Yes, let's do it.
The most common sales job in all of Survivor.
Software?
There are 5 women that are in pharmaceutical sales. They are Penny Ramsey, Tawana, Stephanie LaGrossa, Corinne, and Natalie White. You have a winner there, a finalist, Corinne. Can these pharmaceutical salespeople be trusted?
You trust these people with your life, okay? Because they are exactly what they say they are. All of these people are trustworthy in the game. They betrayed no one. Penny, Tawana, Corinne, they were all loyal to their life. Natalie White, just loyal to right on to the end. I think this is probably the best sales job that you're going to come across because all these people are loyal.
Okay, they bring medication. They go to doctor's offices. They say, okay, you got to be able to trust these people.
The worst thing Natalie White did was kill a rat. You know?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. How about the occupation of another salesman? How about a shoe salesman? Can you trust a shoe salesman?
Was Dan a shoe salesman? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No.
Nate Gonzalez.
Nate Gonzalez.
Nate was a shoe salesman?
Shoe sales. Is that a trustworthy profession?
Based on the player or based on the sale?
I want you to tell me based on the profession.
As a person who purchases a lot of shoes, I have a drip broker. I really do.
You trust these shoe salespeople, or they lie to you?
I don't. You really have to find you one drip broker that you can trust and stick to that
Mm-hmm.
person. I don't venture out. If you tell me you got a shoe guy, I need to check his references. I don't really know because it gets kind of shady. These back alleys of like the Jordan website. Dear God, it's a lot going on there. You know, we got people with bots going in and buy it. You cannot trust these resellers.
Bots.
Yeah, these bots come on. Okay, so when the shoe drops on like StockX or something like that, whatever site the shoe drops on, you have to get on there within seconds and buy the shoe. Like it's a game of seconds. So if the shoe drops at 9 a.m., you're on there at 9 a.m. and you're clicking and you get in line sometimes. But a lot of times they have already programmed these bots to go in and steal the
Right.
shoes. Like
It's
they
like
go in and buy
tickets.
them and then they sell them for like 3 times the price. So you can't trust these real resellers at all. So you got to find you a good drip broker who's going to give you a fair deal on these shoes because they all using bots. They all using bots. They all selling wooks. It's dirty game out there. So you cannot trust shoe salesmen. Sorry to you, Nate Gonzalez.
Yeah. You said they're all using bots. They're all using something that I and you said a word I don't know.
Wooks. I said they all got wooks.
What is a wook?
Wook is like a fake shoe, a Wookie. Like it's
Fake
like a
shoe?
shoe. It's like a shoe that is not the brand that it's claiming to be, right? Like
It's
so
like
you
the McDougal's of shoes.
exactly. It's like if your Air Jordan had him basically in a full split as opposed to his normal pose,
Mhm.
or
It's like
if
the
you
glass house of Big Brother. Yeah.
yeah, it's basically like that. Like we don't acknowledge the Wookiees.
Okay. Okay. Why is it called a Wookie?
I can't get into shoe history with you.
Well, shouldn't it be called like a Wikey?
A Wikey. That might be a slur. I don't want to say that one.
Okay. Probably. That's a good point. Okay. All right. How about retail sales? Okay. 3 survivors have been in retail sales. Shauna, Brianna from Survivor Guatemala, and Kelly Zarnecki were in retail sales. Can you trust a retail salesperson?
Give me the list again.
Okay. It's Shauna. It's Brianna from Survivor Guatemala and Kelly Zarnecki. None of them made the merge.
Yeah. Okay. And they're retail salesmen?
Retail sales.
So they could potentially get a job working at the Ponderosa flea market.
Yes. Yes.
I think you can trust them. I think
Yes.
so.
Okay.
Yeah. They seem to be nice people. They're not that strategic, apparently, according to their placement in the game. So, yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. How about a traveling salesperson? Can you trust a traveling salesperson such as Drew Christie, a traveling salesman?
And his brother was a meat collector, right?
Yes.
Or was it
Not
the
in
same
meat
person?
sales. Not in meat
Yeah.
sales. Meat
Like a-
collector.
Meat collector. Okay. So the traveling salesman, does he sell travel as well, or is he selling?
That
what's
is a
the
good
product?
point. He is
Yeah.
a traveling salesperson. He is not in travel sales. Okay.
So that's a little different.
Basically, I'm a badass.
And his brother,
I'm a meat collector.
A meat collector. Yeah, I like traveling salesmen. I'll take that. Like a salesman, like he's all across the country, like that movie Up and Away or whatever by
Yes.
George Clooney, Up and Away or something. Yeah, George Clooney,
Up
nice
in the
guy.
air, I think it was.
Up in the air. Up in the air. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good movie or whatever. But yeah, they were traveling salespeople as
Okay.
well. But I don't remember what they were
All right.
selling. I think that's what's most important.
So that's a traveling salesperson. How about a vacation club salesperson?
Absolutely not. I don't care
Okay.
who you list. Absolutely not. Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely not.
that is Michaela Bradshaw.
Absolutely not.
I would you know what, I feel like that those vacation club salesperson. One time I went to a timeshare breakfast and they held us hostage. I was like,
yeah.
I don't want this. Let me leave. I want to go. He said, can we show you this over here? Like, how many nights out of the year do you spend in a hotel? I don't know, like 4.
So you definitely need to sit through
you need
this
this
presentation. Yeah.
You need this.
No,
You're losing hundreds of dollars a year.
yeah. I've met Michaela once,
Mhm.
once or twice, and I could say that she seems like a really nice lady, but she was doing the devil's dirty work when she was a travel agent, basically, for these timeshares, because that's exactly what it is.
You can't get out of it.
No, and then timeshares. I know there's like a few people who swear by them, and I'm not talking to y'all. If you're listening to this, I'm not talking about you. the people who are with me on the other side of this fence, when do you ever use a timeshare? Like, it's not ever, like, it's never convenient. It's like you're sharing it with somebody else. They already got the good dates, if you can't really go then. For me, not my thing.
This is a problem. Vacation club salesperson, because there are commercials on TV. It's like, hi, do you have a timeshare? I will help you get out of your contract.
And I'm like, thank you, God. Was that really worth a 3-day trip to Vegas? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
Michaela, dang.
Yeah. How do you feel about copier sales?
Like they sell copy machines.
Yes, that's right.
Like, what if it was Xerox sales? Is Xerox still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is this?
Adam Gentry is a copier salesperson.
Yeah, you can't trust it. Can't trust
it.
And
you could say that, okay, well, Adam Gentry is sort of like, when you make a copy of something that's not as good, probably like there's like 12 different survivors that you could say that this is where Adam Gentry came from as a survivor.
Yeah, we did the Adam Gentry thing several times before. I mean, there's 2 Adam Gentrys on Panama for sure.
Yeah.
At least 2 on Panama. So yeah, this is the role he was born to play.
Yeah, maybe it's like a multiplicity thing.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be something like that. Yeah. He's selling copiers to make copies of him. There will be more Adam Gentrys, and then they will take over the world.
Yes. Okay. Here's an interesting one. What about spa sales? Okay. We heard Morriah talk about Ponderosa's like a spa. Can you trust a spa salesperson?
Are you selling the actual business of a spa? Or are you selling a like hot tub? What are you selling?
I think you're selling a hot tub. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hot tub salesman. That's very different. Okay. Yeah. I think you can trust these people, because I feel like these people come in contact with people who might want to keep their actions kind of discreet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you out here buying a lot of hot tubs, people use those for various things. And so maybe there's like a confidentiality agreement between you and your spa salesman.
I think so, because I think that you can't sell a hot tub to somebody who didn't come in looking for a hot tub.
Exactly.
Like, you can't upsell. Like, I was, thinking about getting like, I don't know what, and then let me show you the hot tubs.
Yeah, you're at cons because you brought your refrigerator in for them to just fix the little thing in the back. And then you're like, oh yeah, well, while you're at it, just go check out the entertainment section, the hot tubs. You're walking by, you kind of, oh, those look nice. And then someone pulls you to the side like, yeah, don't you think you see yourself in one of them, right? You're like, not really. I don't really need one. They're like, yeah, but let me show you what you can do with it. Then they pull you to the side. They take you to the back room with the beads and the sticky floor, and then that's when they show you what you could really do with the hot tub. That's how you seal the deal.
You can trust them. You can trust those people.
They can't tell your business, because then you can air them out. You end up where the sticky floor is at. You got more leverage than you think you got.
Okay.
So I've heard.
All right. How about Detective Dean was in tech sales? Can you trust somebody in tech sales?
Again, what exactly are you selling? Are you selling me a software? Are you selling me?
I think he worked at Google.
Oh, then I don't know if you can trust him. I mean, I'm about to say you could trust Dean. Dean seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, but the job, sometimes you gotta separate the person from the job. Sometimes you cannot. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. All the rest of them were pretty obvious, but I need to really know, what is he selling for Google? Is he selling add-ons? Like, if he's selling like the Grammarly add-on, the premium one, I'm buying it every time, because I'm always in school. I kind of need it. So
yeah. Does it work with Twitter?
It does not. That's why it's deranged.
Like, actually, Chappell, your emoji usage is gonna put a green squiggle underneath that.
Right. Now look at all these comma splices. Like, go away. Go away.
Okay. We'll give you a couple more. Okay. I told you about pharmaceutical sales. What is the difference between pharmaceutical sales and medical sales? One of the second most common salespeople jobs on Survivor is medical sales.
What we got in medical sales?
Medical sales, Danielle DiLorenzo, Jacqueline Berg, and Chelsea Meisner were all in medical sales.
Okay. Have you ever seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yes.
Yes. So Will Smith's character was basically in medical sales. He was going door to door, basically trying to sell like these medical supplies.
Defibrillator or something? Yeah.
No, I don't think it was a defibrillator, but it was something like that. It was something big that you didn't need. You could trust that guy because he was on his last leg. you know, but I don't know. Danielle De Lorenzo could probably sell me a defibrillator, you know. But I don't know about the rest of these people. What? Give me the list one more time.
Okay. It was Danielle De Lorenzo, Jacqueline Berg, and Chelsea Meisner.
No.
Okay.
Nice people, but no, you can't trust it.
How about jewelry sales? Somebody was in jewelry sales. It's not PG.
Oh, who was it? Need to know.
Ace.
The British Ace?
British Ace. Yep.
Wait, how did he even get on the show? Was he really British? I have questions.
I don't
Did
know.
we ever talk about that?
I mean, I think that's a lot of questions. Like, and was his jewelry real either? Like, was the accent real?
Can we get
the
Ace?
cubic zirconian of accents.
Can we get Ace for talking with T-Bird? That's what I need.
That's a good
Find
one.
Ace.
That would be a good
Ace
one
today.
Yeah. Okay.
Jewelry sales. Yeah, like I feel like when you say jewelry sales, I picture a kiosk or like a Zales on the mall. Was it Puya who didn't know what Jared was?
When he went to Jared. Yeah.
Oh, sweet Puya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he works at a Jared or something. I think you could trust
the Galleria of Jewelers.
I think you can trust some jewelers. I don't know if you could trust Ace the jeweler based off what I saw on Survivor.
I don't think so. Okay. All right. And last one. Okay. Shambo her career was just saleswoman.
Yes.
We have no idea what she sells. Yes.
Why box yourself in? You know, sky's
she
the
can
limit.
sell anything.
She can sell salt to a slug, Rob.
Sell ice to an Eskimo.
Sand to the beach, baby. This is Shambo. You know, love it. Ooh la la. You know, Shambo.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, Shambo, put her at the top of the hierarchy. I'm sorry. You know, like that's real talent. Because if you tell me you sell elevators, I'm like, you have a specific set of skills, right? But if you tell me you in sales and it don't matter, you know, she could take care of this elevator thing. So I think if we're following Mike Gabler's, well, this isn't Mike Gabler, this is Cody's thing. If we're following Cody's like train of thought here, then Shambo is somebody you want to target early. Yeah. And if you don't, she potentially goes far in the game. We've seen it before. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Shambo's bio. Shambo Waters is an American saleswoman, best known as a contestant on the 19th season of Reality Competition Survivor.
To this day.
Hire. Yeah.
Yes. Sarah Miller in the chat says Shambo brought mullets back. And guess what? She did. She sure did.
She sold them.
They're everywhere. They were on The Bachelor. I think they're kind of on this season as well. You know, this is very weird, but she did it. She sold it.
Okay. All right. Let's bring in a caller who maybe has something relevant to talk about. Josh is here. Josh. Hey, Josh. How are you?
Good. How's it going, fellas?
Very good. Josh Kettles is here. Yes.
I do think Mike Gabler, I don't know if you guys said this, but I think he's a medical device salesman as well who specializes in heart valves. So I know it's like kind of misleading with like him saying he's in the operating room. I think he is because I have some friends that are in medical sales, but I don't think he's involved in the operation.
Yeah. He makes it sound like he's trying to sell them a heart valve while they're trying to put one in.
Yeah.
You know, like they're currently working on a body. He's like, well, don't you want one of these? He's like, oh, sir, please move back.
I don't know anything about that. Like I feel like it's the kind of thing where like, I'll take your word for it, but I don't want to take a hard stance on it. Like, because then if we're wrong about that, then like Gabler gets on here like, hey, idiots. Like, do you realize what I do?
Idiot who says it. Yeah. But I did want to talk about the Shipwheel Island location this season. Speaking of Gabler,
the giant rock.
Yes. I feel like we need to codify what we're calling this. I think Shipwheel Island, it was very easy, low-hanging fruit last year. But what are we calling this area? Because I'm assuming they're going to come back, in the future episodes.
We called it Card Shark Island on the know-it-alls. I have seen people calling it Big Rock Island. Chappell, you have branded many things. Do you have an idea of what should be called?
I wish I had an original idea here, but I'm gonna have to lean into the Mike Bloom camp because Mike Bloom called it Sack Rock Island, and I appreciate that because that's where you pick your sacks. And so I think we should call it Sack Rock Island until they change the apparatus in which they're pulling the card from. Sack Rock Island.
Sack Rock Island. Okay.
Sack Rock Island. Ding
Sounds
the
like
bell.
a winner to me.
Ding the bell. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's done.
Okay. That's pretty good. Josh, you approve of that?
I love it. It has to be that. 100% of the time. Cannot be referred to anything else.
He's never steered me wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Never.
Mike Bloom does not miss.
And don't.
Yeah. Okay. Josh, anything else you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I feel like this hasn't been discussed yet, but the logo for the season it's back. I feel like
It's
41.
back.
Well, I feel like 41 had an all-time top tier logo for their buff. It was like all about rebirth. It had the sunrise, it had the torch coming up from out of the ocean, but then 42 had like one of the worst logos of all time with the random puzzle key and lock. I know everyone's speculating, okay, where's the lock gonna come in with this? And then now I feel like with
It's just
43,
clip art. Yeah, you like the
yeah,
octopus.
yeah, it's like under the surface, it's the monster, it's creeping, its tendrils or tentacles are like, about to get anyone or everyone at any point. I like it.
It's the
Okay.
Kraken. Yeah, no, it's kind of cool. I like it too. I like the colors. The color scheme of it is pretty dope.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't realize how bad the 42 one was until you brought it up. Now I'm like, yeah, that key and puzzle thing kind of did it annoyed me a little bit. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I think that for the sake of the logos, maybe they should be bringing back the themes
Yeah, that'll give you something to put on your buff for sure.
because they're running out of ideas. Like,
Mhm.
sure, throw an octopus in there. Like there is no giant octopus.
True.
Maybe it's a
Mm-mm.
metaphor. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, anything else you want to bring up with us?
No, I know we're running out of time. Thank you,
Yeah.
fellas.
Okay.
I
Yeah, we
appreciate
are
it.
up against Big Brother coming up here in a little bit. Chappell, people had been asking us about next week, 90-minute episode. Do you have any thoughts on what Survivor is going to be doing with 90 minutes on Wednesday night?
Hopefully not wasting my time like they did this week with 2 hours. Nah, I enjoyed this episode. I did, but I just really thought that, it was a lot in there that wasn't just exciting. So I want something exhilarating. If you're going to give us this extra half hour, do something fun. Do the do or die twist right now. Just give me
Mhm.
something. Yeah, just spice it up. Monty Hall problem for no reason. Just throw something out there because why do you have this extra 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe something very important is going to happen in this episode. I just don't know
Yeah.
what it could be.
Well, I do wonder, could we get our double tribal council here? We had in season 41 2 tribal councils. I think that was planned for season 42. Presumably, we had Jackson's medical evacuation in season 42. Could we get now we'll send 2 tribes to tribal council? I think that's more fair to send somebody out of the game or 2 people out of the game potentially on day 5 as opposed to day 3. So I think this would be a good spot to do it. That being said, they did not promote that in Wednesday's trailer. However, when we get to like football over the weekend, sometimes we get a different trailer and maybe we get some word about a double tribal council.
Do you think it's more fair because you're not robbing 2 people of their experience? You're only robbing 1?
Yeah, I think that's probably like I think it's like if somebody is going to lose the game, like again, you got to get things started. Okay, somebody's going to lose the game. You got to vote somebody out at the end of the first episode, but you don't need to vote 2 people out at the end of the first episode.
Yeah, you go through all of that just to give these like 2 people 3 days on the island. It's like, you could give them 5, before you just start to cut throats a little bit. So I could see that happening. But man, so Rob, there would probably be a situation where you have 2 tribes going to tribal council based on their placement in the challenge, right? So which 2 tribes do you see going to tribal council this next round?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that the 2 tribes could be Baca again and Vessi. I feel like that Coco seems like a pretty well-oiled machine.
I'm in love with the Coco. Yeah, is definitely a favorite for me. The Coco. It's a good tribe. You can tell they're strong. They work together as a team. I mean, even when James's shorts have like just completely left him, they still managed to hoist him
What
up that
happened
wall.
there?
He ain't wore a belt. That's it. Me and all the church folk was just like shaking our heads, like we told that young man to wear a belt, and he just don't do it. He hard headed, and now your ass all out on TV. But he told me that the church folk probably liked it. So
Yeah.
I'm just
So I haven't gone back and looked. I mean, what happened? Like, was there a blurring situation?
No, it's just going through the mud and all of that other stuff, and then throwing those people up there. I mean, James was doing a lot of work in that challenge.
Yeah.
but his shorts at no point did they ever fit because they were falling off of him before they even got to the tribal. I noticed it when they were at camp. I was like, he keeps pulling up his shorts. This is going to be bad in a foot race or something.
You got to get clothes that are tight to go on Survivor.
Yeah, and they fell off.
Or
and
that tie. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they basically had to throw him up there and then throw his shorts up there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I gotta go back and see what's going on.
I mean, you don't
All
have to go look again. I'm sure he's not like dying for us to do a play-by-play of his ass being out. But I mean,
I think Wendell and Bryce are already on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Bryce got it covered. Bryce is a menace.
I saw Wendell had a tweet that was like, hey, our friend James, we're gonna talk about what's going on with his shorts.
James already messaged me and said, tweeted me and said, the church folk probably liked it. So he was giving a show. Maybe he's a showman. That's what he does.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Chappell. We got a Big Brother episode coming up in 7 minutes. So let's start to wind this down. You and I are going to get together this weekend to talk about another great thing going on over on Netflix. Do we want to make this official that we're going to make the call for this week on Nothing But Netflix? We are talking about something that is one of a kind, never happened before on Netflix, that there is a show on Netflix called where Netflix is doing a show. Again, Stephen Fishback said, you know what, why is Survivor the only show that when you start watching Survivor tells you about how great Survivor is? Well, you know what? Netflix is doing it too. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a brand new show where Netflix is going to talk about what's great about Netflix.
Mm-hmm. It's called Tadoom, and not to be mistaken with Tadoom from Law and Order SVU. You know, two different Tadooms.
They call it a global fan event, and it's dropping tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it. It's like a 2-hour thing that Netflix is going to talk about what's happening on Netflix.
Yeah, Disney just did it with their whole Marvel rollout for what's coming next. And so Netflix is not going to be outdone. And luckily, you and I cover Netflix shows on Nothing But Netflix. So now we're going to get a first peek into what's coming next, what's new, what's hot, what's going to be trending on Netflix.
How could we not talk about this on Nothing But Netflix? So we will be back together on Sunday morning for another podcast. And then later tonight, we'll be continuing this party as you and I will be part of the recap of the recap of the recap.
Yes, triple recap. Me, you, Taryn, Liana, we're back, baby. And we're going to recap the most exhilarating episode of Big Brother of every season, the Friday night episode right before the Sunday finale. And so here we are.
So that's what's coming up there. Of course, robhasawebsite.com/subscribe to get everything we're doing over on Rob Has a Podcast. Chappell, I know you are a super busy podcaster. What's coming up for you?
Well, I'm still podcasting on post-show recaps about Atlanta. That season is about halfway. It's just going. We're on episode 3, and so if you are watching Atlanta, the final season, check out our coverage on post-show recaps. It's me, Latanya, and Mari. And so it's a good time. So check that out. Also on post-show recaps, we just started the Abbott Elementary podcast, Rob.
Yes, congratulations.
Emmy award-winning show and now we're going to try to win whatever podcast equivalent, Emmy, whatever. So it's me and Gia. We're going to be talking about Abbott Elementary. So check that out on post-show recaps as well. Sasha and I are still talking about Never Have I Ever on Silent Podcast. And then The Walking Dead will be back shortly. So I will be talking about that on post-show recaps too. And I think I'm doing some patron only content for the BoJack Horse Pod coming up soon. And so check that out. And I was just on the 90 Day Fiance podcast with Puya not too long ago. And so you can check me out all in those places.
Okay. All right, Chappell, this was so fun. Thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed this. This was tremendous. I thought the time flew by. I can't believe that we're at Big Brother, and I feel like that we still have more stuff to talk about. But just the time flies by with you. So always such a treat.
Yeah, this was fun. I saw a couple other questions and I really wish I could have got to them. But yeah, we are on a time crunch this time. Maybe I'll pop in for one of the future feedback shows and maybe we'll get other podcasters in as well.
All right. That's what I would love. That's my hope for this. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.